The last of the three special sections in the Musaf Amidah of Rosh Hashanah is Shof'rot, referring to the ram's horn, which is sounded as Rosh Hashanah's unique mitzvah. The shofar has multiple symbolisms on Rosh Hashanah, including ones that look both backwards in time and forwards. Like the other special sections, it is made up of an introduction, 10 biblical verses that refer to the shofar, and a conclusion. And if you watch Cantor Gadi's video, you will hear excerpts from all of those parts. The short introduction, Ata Nigleta, found on page 274 in the Grey Harlow Machzor, associates the shofar with the revelation of God at Mount Sinai, during which the Torah says that the sound of a shofar was heard. The first three Shof'rot verses, the ones from the Torah, are all drawn from the events at Sinai. The next verses from the Psalms use the shofar in a different way, suggesting the use of the instrument at God's coronation, tying back into the Malchuyot verses, and perhaps implying a future time when God is acknowledged as universal supreme being by all humanity. Cantor Gadi sings the last part of this, which is Psalm 150, the last psalm in the book of Psalms, and also the last psalm in the Pesukei de Zimra section of the service. It calls for various musical instruments, including the shofar, to be used in singing praise to God. The next set of verses from the books of the prophets turn our attention definitively ahead in time to a future messianic era with the ingathering of exiles heralded by the shofar at the Great Redemption. One of these verses is also included in Cantor Gadi's video. Finally, the concluding section amplifies this idea in prayer form, asking God to gather in our dispersed and bring the messianic era, restoring us to Jerusalem and tying into the final Torah verse, which describes the sounding of the shofar as part of worship on festivals, as would have been in Jerusalem in the ancient world. Cantor Gadi also chants part of this concluding prayer up through that final Torah verse.